Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschacha Deshatarane Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tatho Jayam Udirayet Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavat uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. So all who are fortunate to be here in Srimad Bhagavatam class, Prabhupada's order, just by carrying out the order of the Guru, one makes great advancement in life. So we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, Chapter 15, Parasaram, the Lord's Warrior Incarnation. Text 9 is on the board. Tavat satyatpati matra svacharum Yachita sati Shrestang matva tayat yachan Matre matur adat swayam Tavat. In the meantime, Satyavati, the wife of Rachita. Matra, by her mother. Svacharum, the oblation meant for herself. Satyavati. Yachita, asked to give. Sati, being. Shreshtam, better. Matva, thinking. Taya, by her. Ayachat, delivered. Matre, to her mother. Matu, of the mother. Adat, ate. Swayam, personally. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Meanwhile, because Satyavati's mother thought that the oblation prepared for her daughter, Rachika's wife, must be better, she asked her daughter for that oblation. Satyavati therefore gave her own oblation to her mother and ate her mother's oblation herself. Purport: a husband naturally has some affection for his wife. Therefore Satyavati's mother thought that the oblation prepared for Satyavati by the sage Rachika must have been better than her own oblation. In Rachika's absence, the mother took the better oblation from Satyavati and ate it. So we have verses 7 and 8 prior to this. It yuktastan matang gyatva gatasa varunantikam aniyadatva tan ashvan upaye me varananang. When King Gadi made this demand, the great sage Rachika could understand the king's mind. Therefore he went to the demigod Varuna and brought from him the 1,000 horses that Gadi had demanded. After delivering these horses, the sage married the king's beautiful daughter. Sarishi prarthita patyam swashirva chapatya kamyayam Shrapa yitvoba yarmantraish charun snatum gato muni. Thereafter, Rachika Muni's wife and mother-in-law, each desiring a son, requested the Muni to prepare an oblation. Thus, Rachika Muni prepared one oblation for his wife with the Brahmana mantra, and the other for his mother-in-law with the Kshatriya mantra. Then he went out to bathe. Tavat satyavati matra svacharum yachita sati shrestang matvataya yachan matre maturadat swayam. Meanwhile, because Satyavati's mother thought that the oblation prepared for her daughter, Rachika's wife, must be better, she asked her daughter for that oblation. Satyavati therefore gave her own oblation to her mother and ate her mother's oblation herself. Om Jnanatimarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Viritam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So we're hearing in the past time here in Srimad Bhagavatam how everyone is looking out for themselves, looking out for number one. So although the mother wanted a son, the daughter wanted a son, and the great Muni, Rachika, he gave the preparations necessary, but the mother thinking that, well, the husband of the wife must naturally want to give something better to the wife, so that should be for me. So this is a general mentality. You know, everyone's looking how they can get ahead in this material world. But everyone in this material world is suffering. Everyone is struggling. Is there anyone who's not suffering in the material world? Material existence means suffering. Temporarily one might think, oh, good day, sunshine. I've got my, convertible car, money in the bank, a lot of beautiful followers. All's good. Everything's great. Just like, Karta Virya Arjun had, due to worshipping Dattatreya, he gained so much opulence and strength, power, 1,000 arms. So he's in the bank of the Narmada with all his girlfriends, and he actually was exhibiting his power and strength by stopping the river with all his arms. So much so that it went the other direction and inundated Ravana's kingdom. And Ravana got very upset at this. So he thought, Ravana with his 10 heads, he's also very puffed up. We can say that because he's considered demon. But he went there to chastise this Karta Virya Arjuna in front of all his friends. You don't want to get insulted. If you insult somebody personally, it might be okay, but in front of others, then it's very insulting. But Karta Virya Arjuna, he arrested Ravana instead of capturing a monkey and keeping him in prison, then let him go afterward. But this pride, this desire to be number one, to be a manipulator of material energy, thinking the scientists and philosophers, all the professors are thinking of ways how I can be happy in this temporary situation. Before the dream, one is existing, and during the dream, he undergoes so much experience. And if one thinks that the tiger in the dream is real, is going to eat me, and he's fearful, but then he wakes up and he sees, oh, it was just a dream. So it's considered that all of our activities in every conditioned soul in this material world is living a dream life, not knowing that this temporary vehicle, which is undergoing the dream, will be finished. That my family members, my father and mother, my prestigious, all the diplomas I have posted in my office, doctor of this, professor of that. People like to show that they're very, very qualified. Oh, I come from IIT or this or that, and I have a triple master's and So everyone is looking to be number one and wants to be praised and glorified for his accomplishments in this world. But the scientists and teachers, they don't know what the goal of life is. The goal of life is not simply to tolerate the pain, Adhyatmic, Adhidaivik, and Adhibodhik. Adhyatmic, the mind is troubling. Today my mind is very disturbed. I can't talk to you, or some physical issues are taking place with the mind, the intelligence. This is Adhyatmic. Adhibodhik, the dogs are barking all night long, can't sleep. I want to go out kill those dogs, It's like you get so upset. Or the mosquitoes are biting, the flies are in your face. We had a storm in Florida where my family lives, and a tree went right through my cabin, right in my bedroom. If I was there, I wouldn't be here. So these are Adhibodhika, the other living entities. Then Adhidaivika is the storms, hurricanes, cold weather. We're all bundled up very nicely. In the summertime, we can't get enough air conditioning, crank it up, get the air conditioning going. This is because we're identifying with the material body, thinking that this is my eternal existence. But what Krishna is doing by sending his by personally appearing, first of all, Parasuram is considered a Shaktyavesh avatar, and when people in society leave the Varnashram system, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, without your brain, the legs don't know where to go. The arms don't know what to defend. The stomach does not know, how to get its nourishment. So the brain is very important. Unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, there is no brain because it's all focused on sense gratification. Everything is geared towards more and more, better, It's like people are suffering. Prabhupada was mentioning that at that time, there was only like one medicine, Anacin, like you get a headache, okay, take a pill. But the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry is one of the largest industries, and they give you a drug for everything. I got a pain in my leg, take this pill and take that medicine. And young people in particular get addicted to all these painkillers and the different drugs because of suffering. And it says, Americans are so sophisticated, they have about 20 different kinds of medicines or 100 different kinds of medicines, and we're thinking that this will actually is a solution to the problem. This is not a solution to the problem, because the Adhyatmika, Adhidaivika, and Adhibodhika, the mind will always give disturbance. The senses are always agitated. We cannot control the raging wind. We cannot control the earthquake or the drought. Isn't it? Lord Indra had to suffer due to killing a Brahmana, and he dispersed his sinful activities, some to the ladies. They have to undergo different problems, the trees with the sap, and then the land, the earth, became like desert. We think, well, why is this part desert and this part is giving so much of everything? I mean, Mother Earth, when you plant that little seed, that bija, up comes a mango tree, or orange tree, lemon tree, fruit tree, or flower with different aroma. Give that dirt to the scientists and say, you get this beautiful rose smell. They cannot do these things. So, Krishna consciousness is meant to reawaken our understanding of reality, understanding of the purpose and goal of the human form of life. There's so many living beings throughout the universe. Many species of life are there. And everyone is suffering. You think the dogs who are sleeping in the cold or howling all night out of hunger, they're suffering, they're struggling. Everyone struggles. Maivangso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manaksistani yendriyani prakriti karshati. Prakriti kriyamanani guna karmani sarvashaha. That we're all conditioned by the mind, the senses. The eyes want to see something beautiful. The tongue wants to taste something nice. So the mother here was thinking, oh, it must be something more superior, so I will take that oblation for myself. And this selfishness, this jealousy and envy is the symptom and the reason why we're in this material world. Because in the spiritual world, no one is envious or jealous or manipulating, trying to become ahead by putting somebody else, like say dog eat dog world, that people want to dominate one another by their prowess and their expertise. That's not the purpose and goal of life. The purpose of goal of life is to stop the suffering, to stop the repetition of birth and death. And we're seeing how Pururava and Urvasi, the past time, this great king, very powerful king, he was very much mesmerized by the beauty, the attractive features of Urvasi in such a way that he had, even though he was performing yajna to go to the same place where Urvasi was, because there was a whole drama, they were together, then she left him, and he was feeling great separation. This attachment is very great. In the 6th canto we hear the Vritrasura, and Parikshit Maharaj was amazed. How is he considered a demon, Vritrasura? Then the history of Chitraketu came, great king, had many, many wives, but they were all barren. They couldn't produce a son. And every one, they want to get married, they want to have a son so that the son can perform the punya, the yajna, to free all the relatives from the hellish conditions, because living in the material world means we're digging our own grave. Karmana daivana trena. That means even if we have pious, good activities and we're enjoying a very higher lifestyle, still because of the activities that are performed against the regulations of the scripture, we're going to have further reactions. Good or bad, it's all bad because it keeps us bound in this material world. So Chitraketu Maharaj, he was very much lamenting, and Angira Rishi came, and Maharaj worshipped very nicely. He says, I could see by your face that you are very disturbed. So, physiognomy, they say, when someone's angry, it's hard, you cannot hide that. They're all red and the contortion of the face is twisted, You think, oh, I'm going to stay away from this one today because, we decided not to have meetings on Tuesday because the president gets mad on Tuesdays or something. I don't know. Remember? Today's Tuesday, with no meeting. But the Angira Rishi could understand that, my dear Chitraketu, what is it that what's the problem here? What's the issue? He says, Maharaj, I want a son. And although Angira Rishi could have preached to him and told him, why are you wasting your time struggling in this world? Take up the process of self-realization, chant Hare Krishna, go to Vrindavan, worship the great saints and hear from the pure devotees, go back home, back to the spiritual world. Chitraketu Maharaj didn't want nothing just like Pururava didn't want to hear nothing about sacrifices, yagyas. He wanted Urvasi. And Chitraketu, he wanted his son. So Angira Rishi, being very kind, he also made a special formula. Okay, you give this to your wife, and then you'll have a son. But Harsha Shoka, that he'll bring jubilation, he'll bring happiness, but he'll also bring great distress. And the example is given here of how after the child was born, everyone was totally blissed out, happy, so happy. Everyone's singing, dancing. Oh, the king has a son in the kingdom. But then the king was not mindful of the other wives, of the other queens. And he was giving special attention to his wife, because the child is there, the interaction of activity, which is natural. It says here that the husband is inclined toward the wife and the family, and the attachment grows stronger and deeper. The knot, if you have a knot that's really tight, it's hard to undo. If the knot is loose, you can easily undo it. But as the children come, and our love and that knot becomes very, very strong. So the other queens became envious and jealous. They thought, this is not right. They didn't appreciate the king's neglect. So what did they do? They poisoned the child. Then the maidservant found the child's eyes are rolled up, dead, and the queen was beside herself, and the king was on his way to see the child and falling down every step and totally felt devastated by the loss. But Angira and Narada Muni both came to explain, to preach to the Chitraketu about the purpose, the goal of life. Why are you lamenting? This is, a wise man does not lament. Dehinosmin yata dehe komarang yovinang jara tatadihantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. One who's dhira, who's fixed, he understands that the body is undergoing various changes from boyhood to youth to old age. At the time of death, he's forced into his next stage. So we are very, very fortunate because Srila Prabhupada, sent by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, sent by the 6 Goswamis, sent by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Krishna and Balaram, they sent Prabhupada out of compassion and kindness for this age of Kali Yuga to give us the best oblation. Some people want, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz, or give me bread. Oh Lord, I need a good wife. Oh Lord, I need a son. Oh Lord, I need this, I need that. God is the order supplier for everyone. But in our Vaishnava philosophy, He's the son. Oh, where's Krishna? Is he safe? Is he okay? Did he eat properly? How can I take care of Krishna? Mother Yashoda is all day thinking of Krishna, how to serve him nicely. So the parents' responsibility is the safety of the children, providing for them very nicely. This is responsibility. But this is not what gift Prabhupada is giving us. It's not that we should approach the Lord for some material benefit or for some recognition, na danang, na janang, na sundaring, kavitang bhajagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmani ishvare, bhagavat bhakti rahaitu kitvai. The Lord is playing the role of a disciple, of a devotee, and He's saying, na danang, I don't want wealth, na janang, followers, na sundaring, I don't want a beautiful, relationship, temporary relationship in this world. We make the best use of a bad bargain. The Varnashram system is set up in such a way that one is trained in brahmacharya life in the beginning. Then naturally, most people, because of being conditioned in this material world, otherwise we would not be in this material world unless we were jealous, envious, desirous of material enjoyments through the senses. This is not the idea of actually a benediction. The benediction, nadanang, najanang, nasundaring. But one will take repeated birth and death if he has the opportunity for devotional service. Ai nanda tanuja kinkarang patitang mang vishwame bhavam budao. That somehow or other I've fallen into this ocean of birth and death, and I'm struggling with my mind and senses, struggling. Please pick me up from this ocean of suffering and engage me as one of your servants at your lotus feet. You might think, well, that's a big goal. It's a high goal. Most of us people are practical. We need to take care of the wife and children. I need a job. Many people come here. Oh, Mr. President, I need a job. Go to HR department. They'll see what your qualifications are. Everyone needs to be maintained and taken care of. But you need great faith to have that. You think that I rely on Krishna. I'm not asking for these things. The Goswamis, they gave up all the opulence. They gave up all the riches. They gave up all the attachments to family and friends. We're not being cruel. Oh, how you can give up family. That's not give up in an artificial way. We take care of family. We do our duties more responsibly. Prabhupada gives the example of a paramour that although the lady's married, she has a lover, and she does her duties extra carefully so that there's no problem at home. But she's always thinking of the paramour. So Krishna is actually everyone's paramour. Krishna is a lover of everyone. Everyone's attracted to Krishna. But we're misguiding this attraction to material, temporary objects, thinking that this will bring us happiness. And we have to repeatedly hear that we're not the enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktarang, Jagatapasang, Sarvaloka Maheshwarang. He's the Maheshwara, the supreme controller. He creates everything due to our desires. Because we want to enjoy this world. The material, he gives earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. So the subtle mind, intelligence, and ego immediately captures the spirit soul who's deviated from Krishna's service. One who's become jealous of Krishna, envious of Krishna, he's cast out of the spiritual world to the material existence. And there are so many varieties and forms. It's so many different kind of bodies and experiences and tastes, isn't it? Imagine if the tongue could not taste anything. Just what would be the relish of honoring prasad, or the eyes could not see the color. I'm colorblind. Because Krishna is very kind. He gives us varieties. He gives us so many opportunities, but repeatedly He's calling. Okay, like stop the nonsense. Come home. Come back home. But He will not force. He's not forcing. So many or all the stories of Srimad Bhagavatam, they're actual history. They're not considered just stories or allegories. Although within the stories there may be some explanations for better understanding. What is an allegory? It's a similarity of, related to the topic you're discussing, so that you can have a different angle of understanding. So Srila Prabhupada is giving us philosophy. Prabhupada would say that when my Guru Maharaj Srila Bhaktisiddhanta would speak, I would sit and listen with rapt attention, although I was not capturing everything. So we should not try to think that, because I don't understand how the Maha Mantra really works, so I'm not going to chant Hare Krishna. I don't understand the potency of prasadam or association with sadhus. We may not understand how the medicine will benefit us, but we have faith in the doctor, we have faith in this process. So Shraddha, this faith is very important. And as I said, we are all very, very fortunate, because this life is short, and immediately we got on the transcendental elevator that takes you to the very top. In Dubai, we went to this one place, I forgot the name of it, but you went 110, 111 stories in a matter of, it was done like right away practically. Some things are slow. So this process of bhakti. Mangchayo vyabhicharena bhakti-yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. This process of bhakti is very powerful, is the best medicine, and the way we enhance our bhakti is by regulation. Prabhupada is very regulated. Every day, up at a certain time, come for his morning walk, give the Bhagavatam class, evening program. So Srila Prabhupada made a special medicinal formula for all of us, and that is rise early in the morning, take your bath, chant, offer obeisances to your spiritual master, because the spiritual master is giving us understanding and wisdom. I read a passage earlier that, because the one is very fixed, but the other one is praying that I am as foolish as a village animal, like a pig or dog. And, please enlighten me because I'm swimming in the ocean of ignorance. And we should all understand that no matter how much elevated or intellectual or philosophical we may think that we are, and some are blessed with more intelligence than others, but the real intelligence comes from Krishna, and the real intelligence means that I found a perfect master, I found a great doctor. You feel good. I found a good dentist and I feel, oh yes, he's very good, he can do the job very nicely, I don't have to be in anxiety. So we don't have to be in anxiety whether we're following the proper path or not following the proper path. Because as George Harrison said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, that when you're hungry and you're taking food stuff, you feel satisfied. No one has to tell you that. So read, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavad-Gita, stay in the association of devotees, and with enthusiasm and determination, follow the formula as best you can, because the mind generally says, no, I have other things to do. Time to take rest? No, just a little bit more. Then morning time, the alarm comes and shut that thing off. I need to rest a little. So let's get regulated. Stay regulated in devotional service. Even though we may not have the desire or the enthusiasm or the drive that's necessary, that will come. Have faith. Because when the sickness or the disease dissipates, like when the clouds disperse, the fog disperses, the sunshine comes through. Like everyone's suffering, you go to the hospital, someone just had an accident, broke their hip, broke their legs. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm okay today. It's like they're all in a stretcher and broken limbs and taking medicine through the veins, and I'm okay. What kind of okay? So no matter how much we think that things aren't that bad, I don't have to get so fanatical, we do have to get fanatical about Krishna. We have to get fanatical about getting out of the material world of repeated birth and death. Because otherwise we're trapped. That blind well, you're walking in a field, enjoying the green grass, nobody with you there, finally peace, nobody around. Then you fall into this dark well, it's very dark and slippery, nobody's around, there's no hope. So material existence is like a dark well which keeps one bound. And you think, well, that's pretty cruel, because we wanted that. We wanted that. So if we really want to put an end to the suffering and put an end to the misery of material existence, we need to take shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. The Goswamis, the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just like Angira, when he was with Chitraketu, he said, this is Narada Muni, direct disciple of Lord Brahma. To establish the authenticity of the sage's spiritual potency. So we're in the Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. We have a direct connection to the original Shakti, the original source of everything. Everything comes from Krishna, isn't it? Parang Brahma, Parang Dhamma, Pavitrang, Paramang Bhavam, Purushang, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. Arjuna was recognized, oh, you're the supreme, you're the controller, you provide everything. So this knowledge is available, and the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, he has established his ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, to give guidance to the blind human society. He's opening Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya. He's opening our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, because we're born in ignorance in the material world. Not that our true essence is ignorant. Our true essence is Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. We have a form which is a spiritual form. We have pure intelligence, Krishna conscious intelligence. We have an existence which is never compromised. Never do you have to die. You have to just repeatedly suffer in this world, in little bodies, big bodies. All kinds of bodies are there. You've done it all. It's like, oh, you want to go on the roller coaster again, or you want to go on the Ferris wheel again? No. I already did. I already threw up several times. You know, those Ferris wheels and the roller coaster. People pay money and they scream out of fear. It's like, you know, we pay money, so to speak, to come to this world, and we scream out of fear and agony. You want to do it again? Yeah, okay, let's try it again. You know, again and again, and this cycle, the samsara, the cycle of birth and death. You know, with Urvasi is there. Oh, I want my Urvasi, or I want the best thing I can have in this world. But the best thing in this world is totally temporary, and ultimately leads to more suffering and more anxiety. So everything is described, how to organize society so that we can train people to become brahmanas. Not that we could, oh, you know, I was born in a family of meat eaters, I was born in a Malecha Desh, or my family is not Brahmanically inclined, or this or that. It's by your guna karma, by your activities, isn't it? But what you do, if you're acting, if you're chanting the Lord's holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All of you become more than brahmanas just now. Just see, quick elevation, very instant. Someone asked Prabhupada, how long does it take to become a pure devotee? Within a moment. Aren't you reading the books? Sarva dharman paritijam mamekang sharanang vraja ahang tvang sarvapapebhyo mokshayashyami mastuchaha. It says, man manabhava madbhakto madhyaji mang namaskuru. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your prayers to me, thus you'll come to me without fail. I promise you this because you're my very dear friend. If someone of such a exalted stature as the Supreme Lord promises you that I will take care of you because you're thinking of me, you're worshiping me, you're praying to me. He says, give up all your ideas of so-called religion. Give up all your yagyas, because many times these yagyas are being performed just like Karta Virya Arjun, and also Pururava. They were performing sacrifices in yagya, although he was meant to think of the Supreme Lord, he was thinking of Urvasi, you know, before doing his yagya. and also the other one, you know, get 1,000 arms, no one can beat me, I'm very powerful, very beautiful, very strong, isn't it? But then he was so jealous and envious, he was again doing this. He went to Jagadamni, the father of Parasuram, Jamadagni, yeah, pronunciation's not there. And he came as a king with his followers and ministers to, and although he was alone in the forest, he had a kamadenu, he had a wish fulfilling, like in the Surabi cow in the spiritual world, can give unlimited milk. They're very transcendental, mystical. So Kartikeya Virya, I can't. That's such. Anyway, Arjun, whatever. he became envious, although Jagadamni took care of them nicely, fed them nicely, because Kamadhenu was giving so much milk and so much everything, and they had great potency. They had cities, mystic powers. He fed, took care of everyone, but instead of appreciating, he was thinking, I want that cow. Why should he have it? Because he was more powerful. Now that was Kartikeya, Arjuna, whatever. He was thinking that I should be the most powerful. I should be the strongest. I got 1,000 arms. No one can beat me. I chastise Ravana, and I'm looking for combatants. So he took the Kamadhenu along with its calf, and they were crying. When Parasurama found out about that, he was really upset. And he came to his kingdom, and although he sent out many soldiers and elephants to fight with Parasuram, Parasuram at the speed of mind slaughtered all of them. And Kartikeya, Virya Arjun. That's too long the name, it's too long. I'll call him Arjun. He was very angry. He came out to chastise Parasuram. But Parasuram cut off all his hands and lopped off his head. And just see, he was thinking that, why should Jamadagni have this Kamadhenu? I should have it. This offering is meant for me. The mother thought, why the daughter should have? I am the mother. I should have the best offering. So this is unfortunately our situation in this world. Everyone wants to be number one. Everyone thinks that there's something special. We are special, that we're servants of Krishna, but if we don't act in that special capacity of being a servant, if we think that I'm the master, everything is meant for me, and people should recognize me for my power and my accomplishments, this is not the right mentality. The mentality is that I'm simply a das, anudas. I'm ready to serve the servant of the servant, the servant of Krishna. And just like in many prayers of the Goswamis from Narottam Das Thakur, Bhakti-Vinod Thakur, we're hearing that simply serving the dust of the lotus feet of anyone who respects the Goswamis, he's my worshipable, the dust from his feet is my eatables, So this is the humility of the Vaishnava tradition. And the humility is because of embarrassment of falling into this material entrapment of material life. And then when this Maya, this Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya covers us because, again, of that crooked mentality of being jealous, envious, desirous to exhibit our power and strength and show people how wonderful we are. Although Srila Prabhupada is most wonderful, and he's praying when he came to America, signed the most insignificant beggar. So who can be an insignificant beggar who's translating the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, starting a worldwide organization at a very advanced age, giving mercy and shelter to everyone, it wasn't like, I have to follow the rigid, strict scriptural injunctions, no ladies, no this, no, you're born in Shudra family, you cannot do this. Prabhupada, very mercifully, not that he compromised or not that he deviated from the Vedic understanding. We should understand that the Goswamis, they studied all the scripture and they actually brought the essence and delivered it. So Srila Prabhupada, he's seeing Kali Yuga, what is the ability? These people are living 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 years. They have no good qualifications. We're easily disturbed, ready for a fight at any moment. And everyone is number one, push the other one aside. One kingdom is fighting another kingdom. You see the history, the war. It's all based on bodily conception that you're the wrong color. You're not white, you're black. Okay, the blacks and white will fight. You're Muslim, you're Hindu, you're Christian, you're Jewish. Let's fight. Because of all these so-called Prabhupada or Krishna is saying, get rid of all these bodily conception religions. Just surrender to this process of bhakti, and you will achieve the highest success. So we have that opportunity, Every day we should be hearing Bhagavatam enthusiastically. Only one who's eager, loyal, one who's enthusiastic, then he is the proper candidate to have a spiritual master. You can't keep a spiritual master like a pet dog. Oh, I have my spiritual master. Carry on with life. So when you have a spiritual master, it means discipline. And unless we discipline ourselves, then we're not proper candidates to have a spiritual master. Spiritual master is giving spiritual guidance and awakening one to spiritual life. Prabhupada tells a story how the one guru, he was all depleted, and the disciple said, "What happened?" He goes, "Oh, I gave you all my Shakti. I have no more left." It's not this kind of guru. Srila Prabhupada is unlimited Shakti, unlimited potency. He's connected to the spiritual kingdom, to Krishna himself. Krishna's speaking through Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was relishing his books. I did not write these books. These are written by Krishna. So we should have that faith that the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these books are Krishna speaking to us, speaking to give us the rare, very rare opportunity to get out of the material world, get out of the cycle of birth and death, get out of misery. You want to stop the pain. Sometimes I remember when my daughter-in-law was having childbirth, very, very painful. So just give me a shot, numb me out. So everyone is trying to numb themselves out from the pain. So don't just numb yourself, but awaken the spiritual desires, awaken the spiritual enthusiasm to go back home, back to the spiritual kingdom. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The yajna for this age is Nam Sankirtan, by chanting the Lord's holy name with love and devotion. Prem se, they always say, Boliye Prem se, with love, call out the name of God. We may not have love, but sincerely calling out the name of God will help us develop our love, will help us develop our strength to carry on in spiritual life. Anyone have any questions, comments? Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you for the practical class. I just wanted do you want compliment first or comment and then a question? Because you were talking about the 6 Goswamis and Srila Prabhupada saying that Krishnadas Kaviraj was so fortunate that he had association of all the 6 Goswamis and all the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Hence, Chaitanya Charitamrita is not just a storybook, but it's literature or information that is giving us practical principles of devotional life, and therefore we should, put maximum effort to read Chaitanya Charitamrita and learn the principles of devotional service, devotional life, which will help us. Question: we talk about Vrindavan Vishnu, and then we hear the pastimes of Haridas Thakur, who's being whipped, and he is not cursing the Muslims or the soldiers, but he's praying that, my dear Lord, have mercy upon these souls. And then on the contrary, we talk about Parsuram, coming and killing so many people, even talking of thousands of hands. So sometimes it appears there's a lot of contradiction in our philosophy.
The humility of the Vaishnavas is there. Even like Vishwamrita, he was Kshatriya and Brahmin. Now he could have killed all the demonic disturbing elements that were causing trouble, but he went to Dasarath and said, "You please send Ram and Lakshman to do," because they were acting Kshatriya. So everyone has their duties and responsibilities. if one is a king, even Arjuna, you say, where's his humility? He was very humble. No, I don't want to fight. Let him have the kingdom. No, I don't want any. But after understanding the order of Krishna, he took his sword and killed very powerfully. Srila Prabhupada, very humble, but then roaring like a lion. So so Parasuram's duty was to show that these kings who are against the Vedic principles, who are against God, they need to be killed. And the Goswamis and the different, the humility that's being exhibited by them, that's also another example of power and strength. Knowledge is also strength. I read one thing today that all these paid workers came to the king and said, why is it that you're giving so much more to the minister? He doesn't do anything. We're working hard. So the king said, okay, bring an elephant. And he told the workers, okay, tell me how much this elephant weighs. Go weigh the elephant. So they went from place to place looking for a scale to weigh the elephant. And they tried, they came back and said, oh, couldn't find any scale to do that. So he told his prime minister, he said, okay, you take the elephant and weigh it. And very soon he came back and said he weighs 11,550 pounds. And they said, how? You found a scale? How? No, you cannot weigh an elephant on a scale. I took him, I put him on a boat, I noticed the water line, I took the elephant out, I put the weights in there, the same water line he goes, now you understand why he's ministering. Because he says, intelligence is strength and power. So, accordingly, Parasuram, he had a duty to perform, and the Goswamis, they're showing humility, which is also their duty. I don't know if the two are related, but I like the story very much anyway. So we should use our intelligence how to advance in Krishna consciousness. It's on.
Thank you very much. Would you little more explanation if you can make when you say chanting one can become Brahmana? By chanting Hare Krishna one can come to the level of Brahmana. But devotees are being at some particular nature, as a previous one. If you don't have that Brahmanical qualities, and somebody says, still you can come to the level of Brahmana, or the devotee become a different.
Yeah. See, the thing is that we chanted Hare Krishna, but then if we go out and start doing nonsense, you're no longer, you leave that status. Like when we're chanting the holy name, we're above Brahmanas. You're on a transcendental platform. And you say someone might not have a certain kind of nature, but you see, if everything we do, what's that verse? Yat karoshi yadishnasi yad jahosi dadasi yat tapasyasi konti yat tad karushma arpanam. So whatever you're doing, whether you're Brahmanically administering, giving guidance, philosophical guidance, whether you're protecting, whether you're farming and producing food, or you're just a laborer helping, if it's connected to Krishna, then you're above Brahmana. You're no longer Shudra, you're no longer Vaishya, Kshatriya, or Brahmana. You're Vashuddha Sattva. That means, so we're teaching that everything is meant to be dedicated to Krishna. So whatever your proclivity or your natural propensity is due to whatever makeup is, the body that you have, that may be, and everything needs to function. And the legs are not less important. You need the legs. The arms are very important. The stomach is very important. The head's very important. So just do everything for Krishna's service, and you become above the Trigunya Vishaya Veda Nistragunyo Bhavarjuna. He told Arjuna, come up from the modes of material nature, because it's all that's considered within materialistic life. It's my understanding. Maybe the Brahmanas can enlighten you further. Yes, Prabhu. Oh, ladies first. You know it goes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for your nice class. You mentioned somewhere, giving an example from the scriptures, that there's a verse which says, I'm just a foolish village animal. Could you elaborate a little bit more about it?
Well, we all should understand that we're born in darkness, we're born in ignorance, and one should consider himself a fool before a superior, before his Guru Maharaj. And just to give a description, I'm as foolish as a village animal, like a pig or a dog. So understanding that a pig, a dog, an animal doesn't have the ability to inquire about the absolute truth, doesn't have the ability to hear good instruction and follow good instruction. So we're considered, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, I'm lower than a worm in stool. So you think, oh, that's pretty disgusting, how you can think like that, lower. So just to emphasize that we've got to get over our egos. We've got to get over thinking that we're actually something very special, insignificant in the material existence. This humility, it says in all religions, the meek and the humble shall inherit the world. Trinadapi sunichena tarodapi seheshnana. So this humility and this meekness is a good fertilization. Like when you plant a seed in fertile ground, it will sprout. So that humility itself cultivates you. It gives you the receptible nature. That means by having that humble attitude and by thinking yourself very low, then you're a proper candidate to hear from the Guru. You want to explain it? You can explain.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. I do bear that understanding as well. But I wanted to hear a bit more in the sense of, I think it was yesterday in the class they said that, we have our ego, and if somebody says something to us, this is like amongst the devotees I'm talking about, we are like very jumpy and we try to protect ourselves.
Yes.
So hearing that and then hearing yours was just making me try to connect that. When that happens, how do I apply this mood that actually I'm just a low class, whatever, foolish village animal, when that is happening?
Yeah. Well, we catch ourselves regularly. We know that, I got to see Krishna is in everyone's heart, and I got to treat everyone equally, like my own self, and give respect to all living beings. But then next thing, when somebody steps on our tail, we start barking, and then we catch ourselves. So the more we hear the Bhagavatam, the more we hear transcendental instruction, the more we'll be awakened to our own shortcomings. When we see our anger flare up and we do something that we regret, the reason you're regretting is because Krishna has given you guidance. Look at, you've got to correct yourself. We all have to work on correcting ourselves. And if someone gets angry, it's natural. The spiritual master gets angry, this and that. But sometimes we get overly disturbed due to our own pride. And then we should see that. We should reflect on that. So, yes, Prabhu.
No, as you're saying that if we invite anybody to come for the temple and invite them to stay in Vrindavan, so they are going to get a benefit when they are associating the devotees and they are chanting, when they get benefit.
Yes, we should invite everyone to come to Vrindavan and chant the holy name with the devotees, and they'll get extreme benefit, the topmost benefit.
So we should give them guarantee that you will get some benefit?
Huh?
Can we give them guarantee that you will get benefit?
Can we give them?
Guarantee.
Guarantee. We can give them guarantee, yes. We give them guarantee. We guarantee you'll benefit by coming to Vrindavan chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.